That is Stream Beats, the Stream Beats rock album, streambeats.com. Okay, rant time is over here. Recap time is over. Let's fire everything up here and let's actually get some things going. Actually, you know what? I want to change up the playlists and just do the rock instrumental versions of a lot of those. So let's do music, stream beats, rock, demon instrumentals. We'll just loop those because, wow, some really serious talent in some of those. I like that guitar solo especially. I haven't had much time recently to listen to a lot of this with everything that's been going on with the channel and offline and everything else. So, oh, that was the demon song. So that means we're going to hear that awesome solo again. Nice. How are our levels, by the way? Okay, good. Just change a few things around here with some of this and put this off to the side for the rest of the discussion here. All right. So last time, this is under science and technology. Before the break, we talked about the situation with the home stretch of the pandemic here in the state of Connecticut. That kind of would have fallen under medical science and stuff. But the real thing I want to talk about here, after all that recap stuff, is thoughts about YouTube expanding beyond ad revenue. YouTube in 2021 is looking interesting. Most notably, I mean, there was a post from Susan Wojcicki, which usually is some la-di-da thing. But if we go back to Microsoft Edge here, investing to empower the YouTube experience for the next generation of video. We're kicking off a new series that takes you inside our ongoing efforts to redefine how the world experiences video. So, one of the things that I talk about... Oh man, this song is so much of a distraction. So, here's the thing. This sounds like a boss theme from a Super Nintendo game, except with real instruments instead of 16-bit stuff. Oh man, maybe we should just crank these solos of this thing, or use it as bump music or something. We probably should use it for like play some stuff or something. I want to have the "I'm on my way" song for things like this. Okay, couple of very important things here. So, you noticed if you watch the "Be Right Back" screen or the "Start Soon" screen that there was no "Starting Soon" or "Be Right Back" in there. Also, at the beginning of the show, we talked about how I have disabled the alerts for people following me on Twitch or subscribing on YouTube. I don't want people who are nervous to feel any more nervous than they already are because they don't want to interrupt what it is that I'm doing in order to subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on Twitch. Clicking subscribe or clicking follow is just clicking a button. So, I mean, if somebody were to, say, super chat or something like that, definitely give them a shout out. But if you have somebody, they're nervous, they're checking you out, they don't want to interrupt anything, they just want to click the button because they want to watch you again later, they don't want to make a big scene, I want to cater to those people. And I want to be one of the few creators who isn't already a large creator. There are large streamers out there that have to do this, because otherwise they'd have nothing but follow alerts for their entire stream because they're so popular that people are following them all the time. But that's because they have to. I disabled the alerts because I want to. Let's face it, folks. I've said it myself, so I have no excuse. There's a huge element of nerd entertainment to what it is that I do. We tinker with computers, we may not have the best social skills in the world, and sometimes sheer genius is enclosed within a person that is really nervous and really shy. So, if anybody out there has felt really self-conscious following somebody because they liked somebody but didn't want to interrupt the show, so to speak, so they just want to watch again later, so they want to click follow before they go to sleep or something like that. Or if anybody's ever clicked follow and then clicked off to something else because they didn't want to kind of be embarrassed by the host saying, "Thanks for the follow," or anything like that. If you're really that self-conscious and nervous, then yeah, I want to give you a break from all of that. So, there's a lot of people out... And on the flip side, if you would get angry at somebody because they didn't give you a shout out because you clicked your mouse on some kind of follow button, you might want to rethink your priorities in life and stuff like that. You may very well want to just rethink all of that, because do you really want all this affirmation because you clicked something? Come on. So that's the first notable change. There is no more. I've disabled notifications for follows and subs on YouTube. There will be no more of that. There will be things like channel memberships, Twitch subs, super chats, donos, but there absolutely is not going to be anything. There's not going to be any interruptions just because someone wants to follow. Let them follow, because, hey, they want to watch what they want to watch. So if they're the kind of person that doesn't want to make a big scene, well, good. I'm going to be one of the few people that gives them a break without being forced into it by stream growth. So that's actually something, I don't know if a lot of people have thought of it this way. I mean, it seems to be the case that you want to respond to alerts before you're big enough to have most of the alerts be subs and other stuff like that for like Twitch and stuff. But is it really worth it to make such a big deal out of someone clicking a button, especially when they might be nervous and whatnot, like I've been talking about? So yeah, that's one big change. Another big change is I took off start soon and da-da-da from the screens. So part of the issue with the transition screens in a stream is that people, I mean, number one, if people can see how long you've been streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. So, I mean, if you see a production screen like a start soon screen that doesn't say start soon and someone's only been streaming for like a minute or two, you obviously know that they're getting started. Somebody like Trainwrecks TV, who is known for sometimes taking an hour to get going, might not be the case if you don't get the inside joke. But I've really been rethinking transition screens with streams lately. Why is it, I know the answer to some of this, why is it that your transition streams, or your transition screens in a stream, have to be considered inferior to your actual stream? It's not the way television works. You want a good intro to catch people's attention. And in the olden days, when VCRs were less common, and you were going to a commercial break, you said, we'll be right back after these messages. And now, back to the show. There was some art and some talent that was put into those transition screens to kind of make sure that it went in line with whatever was going on with the drama, the plot, the characters, the show itself. In today's world, though, you have a lot of people copying each other with streaming. You can even say I'm doing that with this light show, although this light show is inspired by a release of Kubuntu Linux from a few years ago. The blue and purple theme of Kubuntu back in the mid-2010s. I liked how the wallpaper looked, and I wanted my smart light setup to kind of look like this. So that's what I'm looking, that's why I have the colors I have. But you got all these people out there that are getting into streaming, and they may listen to the advertisements from asset companies that sell pre-made start soon screens and things like that. So you end up with a bunch of people with start soon screens and be right back screens and production material, and by extension production value, that they didn't create, so they don't really think much about it. So it's not something that's going to develop and look more interesting, and eventually, if they get too good at what they do between all of those screens, it's going to look stupid because they're not going to carry their weight as part of the show, as opposed to the production value that goes into a TV show or something like that. So I made the decision that I want to care about be right back screens and start soon screens by making them into something good. Not just, I did some experiment with this with gaming streams where I had what I called a dynamic screen, where I took clips that I recorded of my characters doing stuff in ESO and made that into some kind of cinematic type intro while the music played. So this is the sort of thing I want to think about, and not just, okay, I have it, that's over with, da-da-da, starting soon. There's another thing, too, that's very YouTube-specific that I want to get ahead of the curve on as YouTube continues to develop its streaming side. So the other thing that I want to do is I want to have a situation where with YouTube's cloud editor, if you've seen stuff from streams, it goes from this boring thing straight into whatever it is that it's supposed to be. I don't want that. I want socials to be shown for like a second or two, and then maybe some music at the beginning. But you can't have like a clip of the be right back screen or the start soon screen, because it'll just give away that that's what you did. I say if you get good enough at clipping the song or something like that, get good enough with the cloud editor and identifying how to do this, you could have a situation where it does kind of sort of look like a musical intro of sorts, and then you get to what it is that you want to watch. Maybe like a major part of a song or something. But I don't have that option when it's plain as day that I took either the start soon screen or the intro screen and, you know, just put a few seconds of that in with what I cut together over in the YouTube Cloud Editor. It also offers, you know, if you had a better song in the intro than the other stuff, you could do that as well. There's a couple of things that I'm thinking about that I could do that'll actually work better if the transition screens don't identify what they actually are. So, and it all has to do with what I'm doing with the streams in general. So, YouTube has access, and soon there'll be more of it, to the same types of content that Twitch does with streaming. You have the full streams, replays. The Twitch people call them VODs, but I disagree with that because VOD is an adjective, video on demand. It's not really a noun. What the Twitch people call VODs are really videos. They just don't want to call them that. So you have the full stream replay because some people do like that stuff. There are some streamers with VOD channels that people outside the time zone or people that prefer YouTube or whatever are actually watching VODs, as the Twitch people call them. They're actually going to the VOD channels and watching the VODs because they don't get to catch the stream live, and they prefer YouTube experience of it over Twitch's. I'm sure none of that has to do with mid-rolls on Twitch having a, or mid-rolls on YouTube having a skip button as opposed to mid-rolls on Twitch. Or maybe they know that they'll support the creator better with whatever ads they do let run because YouTube has dynamic CPMs, whereas Twitch has static CPMs. I took a look the other day at the CPMs, which are confidential, so I'm not going to say what the exact numbers are. Let me just tell you that most of my YouTube channel has better CPMs than anything I could do on Twitch. Live or after the fact. Even if I wanted to chase pennies with more ad revenue during the hotter months of the year, like the run up to Christmas and stuff, YouTube's the better place to do that. Yeah, I mean, as YouTube starts to move beyond some of their limitations with monetization, with more things like super chats, super stickers, channel memberships, and other stuff that they can get themselves a cut of whatever. So, like the applause feature that I recently seen and things along those lines, it's been in beta since about a year ago. YouTube can expand all of that. We're looking at a YouTube where they close the gap, and with the monetization-wise, with what drove people over to Twitch in the first place. People didn't want to be ad revenue only, so they went over where they can get subs, gifted subs, cheers, donos. Well, donos are kind of a wild card because that's anything. Anybody can do that at any time. Even if you have no monetization on any platform, you still do SE Pay or something and have something pop on the screen like, so-and-so donated $5. I'm like, thank you. Oh, it's not really a donation, though. You have to be a nonprofit in the United States in order to say you're taking donations. Those are tips. And according to the platforms, they're actually trying to treat them like royalties. So it's just some tax changes that the platforms have made going into 2021 that I was like, I wonder why they're doing this. Is there some money that YouTube and Twitch are saving by classing revenue as royalties and things along those lines? I gotta do some reading on that. Howdy, chat. A little bit of a delay on here because I have the middle setting for this type of stuff. But yeah, so it's gonna be cool though, because you know, one of the things that, as you know, that I've been upset about and that I've been watching with the YouTube videos is the link between what makes YouTube money and whether the algorithms do anything with it. I mean, here I am, I'm a multimedia guy. I want to do a lot of tech stuff, and I want to do a lot of AV type stuff, things along those lines, and yet I keep seeing the washer and dryer video and videos about appliances get pushed around by the algorithms more and also make more money at the same time. Interesting. Good old Scrooge tube. At the same time, I'm sure that a lot of you people have been annoyed by the uptick in ads on YouTube. I remember when I used to be able to brag about, oh yeah, well, you get ads on the internet. You get one 30-second commercial on YouTube versus however long a commercial break is on TV. And now you've got all the problems that YouTube has with their ad system. But they're stuck because if other channels on YouTube are similar to mine, a lot of the revenue from advertising that YouTube is able to bring in is through the skippables, which have a bit of a problem, as I've mentioned, with people putting their darn videos into the advertising system. You'll watch a video about one thing and you'll get an ad which is really someone else's video for something else, and you got to click skip in order to get past it. So annoying. And so, at the same time, what are you going to do about ad blockers? They're more common. I know that there's a problem in the system with them. YouTube is silent on them with their help articles, from what I've seen. But, except for, well, if you're using ad blocking software, it might not count as an impression. Yeah. Multiply that by people watching that have Avast Secure for their browser, care about their security, don't want to deal with pop-up malware or other really invasive stuff that you see on other websites where you'll try to read a news article and suddenly something is shoving in your face some kind of ad coming up from the side, some kind of animated thing, just whoop, hey, you should refinance your mortgage, crap like that. So the reasons for using ad blockers are pretty justified from a tech and a security perspective, as well as convenience in general. I'm sure people would support platforms more if it wasn't so annoying, to do so. And so that's why I applaud YouTube and especially Twitch for their more tame advertising environments versus some of the crazy stuff I've seen on other websites. Twitch in particular keeps everything locked down to specific time slots and things like that. So that's the thing. I mean, advertising on YouTube, we know that from the .com crash, older folks like myself, that ad-supported stuff on the internet often doesn't do well. I don't think it's ever done well before. So whenever you have something that's ad-supported, you have a situation where whoever's involved is going to try and move beyond that in order to evolve with the times. And so that's where we get this article that I've been looking at here. Had it on the screen earlier. So this is Neil Mohan, Chief Product Officer, YouTube. Ever wonder what went into the development of YouTube's mobile tool for shooting short videos, or what it takes to support millions of people watching a concert live in HDR? That's what I hope to do with this new blog series. Explore how we transform, this thing's almost empty, nuts, innovative ideas into cutting-edge reality for viewers and creators. Building off our earlier series on YouTube's responsibility work, we'll take you inside our ongoing efforts to open a new chapter for video. So they're working on navigation with the UI and some other ways to navigate within a video. There's a huge amount of people watching YouTube on phones now, although computers. Let me check my demographics here before I say anything, because I haven't checked this in a while. How are my demographics for who watches on what kinds of devices? Analytics. It'd be under traffic sources for, the audience. Other channels. Is that still there, or did it get moved? Watch time from subs, age and gender. Subscriber bell notifications. It got moved somewhere with the... Yeah, it got... How about reach? Traffic sources. Traffic source external. Playlists. Funnels. There's the old funnel again. I wonder if I could see whether or not it's split between desktop and mobile. Advanced. Traffic source. Is there a way to see device type? It's still in the advanced section. Okay. All right. Yeah. In the last 28 days, mobile phone users have edged out computer users. You're talking just some basis points here. 38.2 versus 37.5% of watch hours between mobile phones and computers. So yeah, what Neil Mohan's talking about here is happening with my channel as well. Let's look at 2020. 2021 so far. Excuse me. I've been talking too much over the past 2 days. Mobile phone has taken over from computers. 44% of my watch time this year so far versus 35%, 35.8 on computers. Of course, it is split 6% on tablets, 10% on televisions, 2.9% through game consoles. Let's look at 2020, the lockdown year. Then we can go to the lifetime, which I think computers will still win for the lifetime of the channel. Mobile phones, 45%. Computers, 32%. Tablets, 9%. TVs, 10%. Consoles, 1%. Now, let's be a jerk and let's look at lifetime. Data not available. Data not available. But I can see from the lifetime chart. Let's put Firefox on the screen. Will it load correctly? Sort of. So, Why don't we start it at, say, let's see here. Let's start at like January 2013. Let's do like, see, 1/1/20. Let's do 1/1. Invalid date. 1/1/13. 8 years, 57 days. Holy crap. We're still not there yet. We have to set it to, let's set it to, what's the first day? Let's do like January 20th. Like January 20th, 2013. Start at the 20th. Get most of the history in here. Just give it a 1320. Yeah, There was YouTube in 1320. What screwball medieval, whatever it was. Apply. Whoops. That's 2021. We want 2013 to February 24th, 2021. There we go. So we see computer's dominance fall off in 2017. And now you have mobile devices being used to watch YouTube. Primarily on this channel since then. And this is this also coincides, by the way, with one of the big reasons why I became so obsessed with end screens and wanted to make very robust end screens, because I want somebody who's watching on, that's my remote. Where's a phone? Any phone. There we go. My old phone. Somebody, I still got the Korean to English translator open from when I was trying to. If you are watching on something, shut off, darn it. There's the button. You're watching on something this big. You're watching on something this big, or like this. Number one, I mean, have the sound so that you can, see what's going on, or maybe someone's using a Bluetooth speaker, who knows. What if Chromecast are part of this as well? This thing needs a charge, so let's charge it up. So anyways, yeah, you're watching on something like this, then you definitely want the ability to just tap the screen to watch another video. And that's one of the reasons why I focused on end screens more so than calls to action. Because I don't want to bug the heck out of people to do stuff. I want to make it easy for them to do stuff. So, yeah. Wow. I totally missed that because I've been focusing on other things. But yeah, mobile has taken over in terms of where people watch YouTube videos. It's definitely something to keep in mind. I think the big thing is it's not the death of the PC, whatever. Not the death of the PC. It's just a matter of you spend time, you're out and about with the portable device. And then if you have like a computer at home or a Chromecast, you don't even need the computer anymore. The only real reason to have a computer is because you want to have a computer. You could actually have one of these, you could have one of these broadcasts like a Chromecast or something in your television to get your big, and then hook it up to your home theater or whatnot, so you can have your phone as the remote control for basic computer stuff. And yeah, what, you been hanging out with Zoomers too much? It's the way the world is. You always have the enthusiast market versus the mainstream, and the mainstream only needs one of these. Yeah. If you can broadcast the screen on one of these to something bigger, you can get a Bluetooth headset, Bluetooth mouse, Bluetooth speakers. You can have the equivalent of a computer with something you're using as a phone the rest of the time. Yeah. This is from 2017, so it's slow. But my Moto G7 budget phone that I got this year has great battery life, and it actually does better it actually has specifications that are very similar to a computer from about 15 years ago. The thing is, I could use a 15-year-old computer to do basic web browsing and office work. So what we've done is we've taken a 15-year-old piece of junk computer with maybe 30 watts power draw to a couple of watts when charging. And it's mobile, and it's portable, and it has battery backup. You don't have to worry about a power outage knocking out your data. There's all kinds of reasons, and I've had IT people make fun of me for seeing this coming. I've had IT people that were laughing at me because I talked about your smartphone being used as a computer somehow. And here we are. Here we are with smartphones and mobile devices, or no, phones specifically, taking over YouTube viewership for this channel. Green is mobile phones. Blue is computers. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the 2020s. Okay, let's read the rest of this here. So there's been a lot of focus on mobile as the traffic has taken over here. But YouTube wants to focus on TVs because people are figuring out what I've known for years now, that it's nice to come home and have everything on a nice big screen so you can sit on the couch instead of crinking up your neck looking at that little 5-inch screen everywhere you go. You know, come on, sit back, relax, put your feet up, get some popcorn, whatever, have a nice big screen, do everything there. You may not need a computer to do that anymore thanks to smart TVs, Chromecasts, and the whole 9 yards. You may not need a computer to do that anymore, but it still doesn't mean that, a computer-driven life has, the computer-driven life has ended. It just means that the computer involved has a different form factor, like a smartphone. So they're trying to get more TV involved, especially 4K. YouTube has 4K streaming. There's the YouTube Music service. I gotta check that out. They want to make a kids version to get around some of the COPPA, things like that. Having more of a separate ecosystem for kids. Expanding opportunities for creators. Putting creativity in your hand, helping creators build businesses and diversify their revenue streams. Now, we will continue strengthening our existing monetization products, but also find even more ways to help creators diversify their revenue streams. Okay. Edge. Always be suspicious. Always be suspicious of a platform that tries to make it look like the creator is the only one profiting from revenue. Not the case. There's a revenue split with the platform for these systems. Same thing on Twitch. Inspired by the success of Super Chat and Super Stickers for live streams, we've been testing a new applause feature. Yeah, for a year, YouTube. It's been beta that long. It allows fans to show support for their favorite YouTube channels. It unlocks new monetization opportunities for creators' uploads, and we're looking forward to launching this more broadly to creators this year. Yeah, this is what it is right here, a little applause thing that appears over your video, and the creator sees it, and they can give you shout-outs and things like that. That's what I've heard it is anyways. What YouTube needs to do is they need to make it that this is worth doing. It might be a bit harder in a video environment than it is when someone's live. You get the instant reaction like, thank you for the 500 bits, or whatever it is on Twitch. Facebook stars and other stuff too. Or thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the $25 super chat. That kind of thing. So this is all, what this all represents though, if you know how these platforms work. It's not just revenue for any kind of creators. It's revenue for the platform. It is revenue for the platform as well. And what this means for YouTube is an alternative to the soap opera that has been ad revenue for the past several years. This is the sort of thing that I'm glad they're doing, but I know they're gonna gain something from this. So, yeah, the ad revenue declining, you have the use of ad blockers, you have whatever tie-ins there have been with the algorithm, although a recent Creator Insider video suggests that discovery and monetization are already separate systems, but it gives YouTube a chance to kind of return to its roots, where the amount of ads isn't so critical to how the platform's doing. There's more ads now, which tells me they're scrambling a bit, but I think they're looking to move beyond advertising as being as important as it is, in case there is another ad apocalypse, in case there's other stuff going on. And of course, if you have all these systems that you get a cut of the revenue from, you have that. So this fixes the #1 complaint that drove people away to Twitch, is that I only have ad revenue, I don't make any money off of that. I want people to cheer and sub and do gifted subs and blah blah blah. Twitch Prime. Yeah, well, YouTube's working on a YouTube answer to Twitch Prime, as I've seen in their own videos. And they obviously have the motivation to close this monetization gap because they will benefit from it as well. The platform will benefit. It's not just something that you will see with creators. See here. shopping for the next generation. They want to integrate buying stuff into YouTube videos. So if someone's making an unboxing of a Google Pixel or something, you can buy a Google Pixel inside the app because mobile is so huge. Yeah. Yep. Yep. that was terrible. Yep. How y'all doing? Let's see. And that's the article right there. But because of this, I'm looking to move beyond some of the hassles and frustrations of the past couple of years. If YouTube makes the moves, then I will too. So here's what's next. Some amount of tech videos as this transition continues. Get some content on here, open up channel memberships, and things like that. Super chats are already available. Try and find a way to use premieres instead of regular uploads for the people that catch things when they first come out. That element of it. All the new stuff that just shows that YouTube has gotten somewhere in the last 15 years, because they have. And they've gotten somewhere good. As they continue to develop the streaming side, we can't forget everything else. And we also can't forget the difference in philosophy between Twitch being stream only and YouTube being stream plus videos. I think if this goes right, we'll see an environment where Twitch has to go back to the drawing board because YouTube has progressed to the point where they are really flexing their muscle and making up for some of their long-running weaknesses over the last couple of years. Monetization being one of them. Imagine, if you will, an environment where we can get back to what YouTube was before all this ad stuff took over. We just make videos because it's fun, and people watch it because it's fun, and the viewing experience is ad-free, but they can use an applause, or they can buy a membership or something to support creators or something, or do a one-off through a super chat of some sort, which is part of what applause is supposed to be. Because what's working right now is pretty annoying. What they have right now is pretty annoying. The problems with the ad system, the problems with not enough visibility for creators to see whether mid-rolls are pulling their weight to turn off mid-rolls on videos, the lack of the real tools necessary for creators to decide, look, if I watch TV, I only see a commercial break every 10 to 15 minutes. Why can't I just shut off mid-rolls on all my videos that are short, that are too short? Just have a pre and a post. Why does YouTube going from 10 minutes to 8 minutes have to affect what it is that I do? So how can I know that the mid-rolls are even worth it? There's nothing in the studio for that right now. Hopefully YouTube fixes that. But I think the direction that YouTube is going in is positive. The most positive being that we can put all this ad drama behind us. So, okay, maybe your school has routers. Maybe your school has a router that has an ad blocker built in for security reasons. That's no longer an issue for creators. If we have a world where the ad revenue doesn't matter as much, I think I might want to check that out. You know, it certainly allowed me to help to focus on making what I like making, and maybe I'll see the algorithms support it better. Because I'll tell you what, it's been pretty ridiculous all these years having appliance videos smoking my videos about technology. It's been beyond ridiculous. The name's MultimediaJay, and I don't want some computer system somewhere to kind of pressure me into trying to be the Maytag repairman just because it's more lucrative to do so on YouTube. The sooner we move past all this nonsense, the better. YouTube, keep up the good work. I can't wait for things to change. Because the world has seen enough of the drama over ad blockers, the drama over demonetization, which is ad revenue, the drama over this, the drama over that. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget. The reason why demonetization is a thing is because of advertiser friendliness. There were advertisers out there that don't want their ads alongside certain kinds of content, and that's why YouTube's trying to filter it out. Imagine if that doesn't matter as much. You get let's say your channel gets demonetized all the time. You just stop turning on ads because it doesn't matter as much. You're chasing pennies instead of just making content. What happens to the quality of content on YouTube when creators can get back to creating instead of worrying about this administrative stuff? I'll leave that for you folks to ponder. But I look forward to it, because quite frankly, advertising has caused more drama than it's worth. Let it be here, yes, but give people options to move beyond it, give the platform options to move beyond it, and for Pete's sake, enough is enough of appliance videos being the most popular videos from a guy called MultimediaJay. YouTube. I want my tech videos getting that kind of activity and getting never-ending audiences from the algorithm. Not a washer and dryer video from 5 years ago. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.